Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and I am well aware that many people say, oh, XRP $300, that's crazy and all that. It's not crazy. Now, does that mean that we need to all go out and say $300 by the end of the year and all this? If you hear anything like that, you ought to be wary of who's talking to you, because anybody who's doing that kind of stuff is typically trying to just lure you into a video. That's not what I want to talk about here. This guy Charu San he's getting a lot. He's catching a lot of heat for making some bold statements, but I think he's making them in a very reasonable way. In this post, he says the great shift from retail to institutional liquidity. He said, when the time comes and you sell your XRP at $300, you will withdraw that money from the market as cash, whether in dollars, euros, yen, or your local currency. But where will those XRP tokens go? Directly into the AMM V2 liquidity pools. When you place your XRP on an exchange to sell at $300, the buyer on the other side will not be another retail investor. At that exact second, a massive $10 billion corporate clearing transaction, a trillionic currency bridging by an FX giant or billion-dollar transfer by a bank will be waiting on the other side. Your selling amount, which feels monumental to you and is enough to change your life, is merely a drop in the ocean that will dissolve within seconds inside the AMM V2 smart contracts and corporate liquidity pools devouring billions of dollars every second. The system will operate with such colossal volume that it will instantly sweep up our sell orders like a vacuum cleaner. The fact that everyone will sell at 200, 300, 589 or even higher will not crash the system. On the contrary, it marks the end of the system's childhood phase, the retail investor era, and ensures its transition into adulthood. So this guy's catching a lot of heat, but I think most of us that have been around for a while, we see this is where all of this is going. And he did another tweet where he said, according to Bank of International Settlements data, the average daily trading volume on the global FX market is 9.6 trillion. Do not overlook this. Without deep XRP liquidity, these transfers simply cannot happen. It cannot be dirt cheap. I think everybody would agree on that. But I wanted to make a few points here. It's easy to criticize some of this. And again, I don't blame anybody for criticizing anyone who comes out here and says, oh yeah, it's going to be $300 by the end of the year, because that's red flag city. If you hear anybody saying anything like that, they don't know. They're just talking, okay? But when we start talking about legislation coming in